Hi guys, welcome to Coders Digest, and in today's video we are going to discuss another very important topic of machine learning, that is one hot encoding. So it comes under the umbrella of feature engineering, and today we are discussing about one hot encoding. So the points we are going to cover is what is categorical encoding and why do we need it, ordinal encoding, and then one hot encoding. Okay, so this is not a dedicated video on ordinal encoding. We will briefly touch on ordinal encoding and then move to one hot encoding. Okay, so now first of all, the first question is what is categorical encoding and why do we need it? So the answer is that most of the machine learning algorithms such as linear and if you talk about neural networks also, so those do not work that well on our I mean we can say string data or the data that is non-numerical, okay, on the categorical data you can say. So that is why we need to encode our categorical data or categories into some kind of a number, okay, and that is what we call as encoding. So now since we are encoding our categorical data to a numerical data, so we call it as categorical encoding. Okay, so now let's move to another slide. So what is first let us discuss about what is ordinal encoding. So you can see on your screen that we have a very simple or tiny data set. It's just for purpose of demonstration. So let us say we have a table which has name and gender. So I have kept it small deliberately to keep it simple. So we have two users, let us say Alex and Cynthia. Alex is male and Cynthia is female. So now if we want to do ordinal encoding in this, so how we can do that is that it is simply that we can say that we will just provide a number to every gender. So let us say we want to encode our gender column through ordinal encoding. So here you can see that we have encoded our gender as 0 and Cynthia which is female as 1. So now you can see that we have categorized male as 0 and female as 1, but there is a problem with this approach. Reason being that most of the algorithms considers it as a difference. So what do I mean by that? So the reason is that most of the algorithms can consider that 1 is greater than 0, or let us say we have something where we have more than two categories, 1, 2, 3, 4. In that case, what will happen that machine learning models will start assuming that 2 is greater than 1 and 3 is greater than 2. So I mean this is not ordinal data. I mean you cannot say that female category is greater than male, or let us say my status, let us say we have a status column, so let us say status single is greater than married. That doesn't make any sense. So that is why rather than this approach, ordinal encoding sometimes doesn't look so handy or good because of these assumptions which our models make. So that is the reason we move towards one hot encoding. So how do we tackle this scenario? So in this slide, you can see that the issue with the ordinal encoding approach is that the models can interpret that gender one, which is as female, is greater than zero, which and it can assume that it is some sort of relationship, which means that one is greater than zero. So it will provide higher weight to this particular gender, and which is not the intended purpose here. Okay, so now let us move towards one hot encoding. So now what do we do in one hot encoding? So we have the same data table. We have Alex and Cynthia, male and female. So what does one hot means? So one hot means that at any given moment, only one of the category will be active. Okay, so let me just show you and it will make sense. So you see here that rather than here you can see that we have 0 and 1. So rather than providing this kind of categorization, we have created two new columns. Okay, so you see that rather than keeping gender only, we have created gender underscore male and gender underscore female. Now here if you see that at any given time only one is active. So you see that for Alex the gender underscore male is 1 and gender underscore female is 0. So it means that this particular record we have gender as male. Okay, and for Cynthia you see that in gender underscore male, for Cynthia we have 0 in gender underscore male, and we have 1 in gender underscore female. So what does it mean? It means that Cynthia is a female. Reason being that for gender underscore male it is 0 and for female it is 1. But now here one thing I would like to discuss, and it is the main point behind one hot encoding. That is, if you pay attention, you can notice that we do not need all these columns. Obviously, we need n minus 1 columns. Reason being, so let me, if you look at the table below, you see that if we leave this one column from our data set, it will still make the same things or same sense. How? So let us say that we retain only gender underscore male column. Okay. So now if we see for Alex, we have gender underscore male equals to 1. So you can see that gender is the Alex is a male. So we have 1 in gender underscore male. Okay, that's fine. You may say that that is fine, but for Cynthia, so now you will think that what for Cynthia? We do not have 1 for her. And the reason is quite obvious. If you pay attention, then you can see that for Cynthia, we have a 0. Okay. So now you can probably understand that we have only 2 categories in our gender column. Okay. Gender can only contain a male or female, right? So if I say in for Cynthia, the gender underscore male has a value of 0, then it clearly means that Cynthia is a female. Okay, so it is a very clear assumption, and it helps a lot in preventing the what we call as cardinality also. So what is cardinality? Cardinality is a way which is a problem with one hot encoding. So what happens? You can see with this example that we have a data, we have a column as gender here. So what has happened that that our encoder, what has it done is that it has created 2 new columns. Okay, so rather than one gender column, we now have gender underscore male and gender underscore female. So obviously we have created 2 new categories. So if you see in terms of a huge data set, so let us say we have 10 categorical columns. Okay, and then those have multiple categories in them. So then you can see that they will create a lot of new columns, and that will increase the size of your data frame, and as well as your the complexity also. It will become hard to read the data frame. So that is the reason we usually discard one column from this our new data set or encoded data set. Okay, so with that note, let me move to my Jupyter notebook, and let me move to Jupyter, and I will show you how to do that. So I have my Jupyter notebook opened here. So now we are moving towards the coding part, guys. So here I have imported pandas and scikit-learns. From scikit-learn.preprocessing, you can import one hot encoder. So let me just zoom in a little bit so that it is more clear. Okay, I hope it will be more readable now. So from pandas, I have imported pandas as PD, and from scikit-learn.preprocessing, you can import one hot encoder. So one hot encoder is the basically the package which we use to encode our our data. And for the demonstration, let me run this cell first. So I have run it, and for the demonstration I have imported my Titanic file. I'm using the Titanic dataset. So I have run this cell, and now I can see what my dataset is. So now you can see that in this particular data we have passenger ID, survived, whether the passenger survived or not, passenger class, name, sex, age, sibling, sibling and spouse, parent and child, ticket, fare, cabin and embark. Okay, so you can see that we have quite this embarked is our categorical variable, and we have multiple categorical variables here. So now let me take, we have gender also. So I have decided to take an example of gender also, since I demonstrated it a while ago. So now I have decided to choose only categorical variable. So let me run this. So I have created a data set, or I have taken aside my categorical variables. So now you can see that I have taken out my sex and embarked. So you can see that in sex we have male and female, and embarked we have Southampton. I actually don't remember these names of the city. So basically embarked is the name of the city from where a particular passenger boarded the Titanic, right? Okay. So now for one hot encoding, we can use two ways. So one is particularly the pandas get dummies, and it is very straightforward and simple. But the issue with it that it does not work very well in production environment. So this is a heads up. Reason being that it does not work on the unseen categories. It does not, it does not handle the unseen categories very well. So, but still, for the purpose of this demonstration, I will let you know how we can use pandas get dummies. So here is my categorical data set, and here you can see that I have said that dummy underscore na equals to true. So it means that if there is any na in the data set, then it will also create a separate category for that. And drop first equals to true. So what it does the same thing which I displayed in the one hot encoding PPT which I displayed a while ago, where we just discarded one column because it was just making a duplicacy, or we do not need that, because if it is zero, then we can say that the particular gender was male. And this is the case with any category. You can just describe any category in n minus 1 ways. So you can try it and check it out if it doesn't make sense as of now. Okay, so let me run this cell, and I have run it, and you can say that you can see here that sex underscore nan. So what is this? You can see that what is this category. So sex underscore nan is just simply a new category created by the get dummy. So it has created a separate category for sex underscore nan, means that any nan in the category uh, in the sex column, it has created a new category for that, or new column for that. Similarly for the embarked also, it has created a new column. Okay, so let us say this first record is a male. Okay, so it has created this nan for that, and here it has created an nan for this also. Okay, and now let us say that so let us say I have created another data frame here, or copied it from the same data set we have created for categorical variables as df2. And now what I will do, that I will use the scikit-learn's one hot encoder. So you remember this these few things, you can go and check out this in the scikit-learn's package, and you can get more information about that. But for this particular video, what I have done, that I have imported one hot encoder, and I have created categories as auto, that so that the encoder can choose freely about the categories. And drop equals to first mean whatever the first column is will be dropped. So let us say that for sex I have created sex underscore male and sex underscore female. Sorry, I mean gender underscore male or gender underscore female. So what it will do, that it will just simply drop the gender underscore male. Reason being simple, that we do not need both the columns. So this is a very handy thing. You do not need to go and manually delete any column. So here I have just fit this particular encoder in this OHE name. Okay, so you now I am fitting this. Okay, so first time what I'm doing, you can see here that that we have seen that we were having NA data. So before fitting this, we assume that before doing any kind of feature engineering, we have done the missing data handling, or we have handled the missing data in our data set before moving forward towards the feature engineering part or encoding part. So if you want to learn more about that missing data handling, then please go and check out my videos on how to impute missing data in Python and Pandas. So here for simple demonstration, what I have done is that I have filled all the missing data with category missing. So you can see this particular thing in missing category imputation, that is a separate video. So that is a full dedicated video. So here just in a one line, I have what I have done. I have first filled my data frame with missing category. So I have just created a new wherever there is an NA value, I have just imputed it with missing category. Okay, and then after I have here, you can see that I have fitted my encoder. Okay, so I have fitted it on my encoder. So now let me run this cell, and you can see that it has run. So now let us say if I want to see what are my feature names after encoding. So now if I run this particular line, ohe my object name, ohe.get feature underscore names, and now I have provided my column name. So remember, this should be in the same order in which we have provided, okay? So, or in which we have it in our data frame. Otherwise, it will make a mess, and the embarked will be encoded or named as gender, or gender may be named as embarked. So that will just create a mess. So remember that in mind. Okay. So now let me run this. So now you see that we have one column for gender, gender underscore male, and for embarked, you see that I created a new category missing here in this particular line. So here you can see that my new columns are embarked underscore missing, embarked underscore q, embarked underscore s. So you can see that it has dropped one particular category for embarked, which is C. I do not see in this here. So that means that it has just drop one column, and that is what we needed. Okay, so now let me run next cell. Okay, and now what we have done is that similarly we have just transformed the data. Okay, so after fitting our object, we have just transformed our data. So remember, we do fit and transform. So fit is basically now you might think that what is the difference in fit and transform. So guys, fit does not make any changes to a data set. Remember this thing. So what happens that when you fit any encoder or anything on your data, it just learns from the data. It does not make any changes. The changes will not persist until you will transform your data set. Okay, so once I will transform my data set, now those changes will be there in my data frame. Okay, so let me run this, and now you can see that now this particular line I have written it for purpose, and what it is doing that here if you see dot get feature name. So if you see, I have provided my feature names or column names, and you can see here the output is like gender underscore male, embarked underscore missing. So here what I have done, I did not provide the my column names or the sequence of my columns. So here you can see that it has automatically created categories as x1 x0 underscore male. So you can quite easily understand that this x0 underscore male is gender. So remember, whenever to transforming your data, remember that you provide, the whenever you are trying to get back your column names, remember that you provide these column names. Otherwise, it will create this as x0 underscore male or something like that. So you can see it in the next line. That now what I have done, I am creating the data frame again after running my encoder, and columns I am using it as like this. So I am providing my column names, and then I am creating my data set. So now you see that we have our these all columns here, and our data set has been transformed into an encoded data set. So you can say that we have now encoded our categorical variables into one hot encoding, or we have just run one hot encoding, and now our data set is ready for fitting onto the model. Okay, so now one more thing we can do with this, that we can save this particular uh, object of encode, and this is very helpful when you are deploying your model to production. So basically you can save this particular object and for later use, and then you can just load this like this. So let me show you. So I have imported the joblib library, and I have just, you see that ohe is my name of my encoder. So you can see here that I created my encoder ohe. So now what I can do is that I can dump it. Okay, so I have write this line joblib.dump, and then my object name, and what name should it be, what name do I want to give to my this encoder object. So I have write it ohe.pkl, which is a pickle file. So now if you see that I have run this line, and if I go to my directory, so you should be able to, I think it is not refreshed, let me refresh. Okay, so now it is updated. So you can see that I have created an object or dumped this particular encoder. And now, so let us say if you want to use this later, in your test environment or something or anywhere. So what you can do, that you can just simply load it. So you do not need to write all those line of codes again and again. You will simply need to load this object or this pickle file. How? You can just uh, try joblib.load, and then if I want to show you, then let me just copy these variable names. It will make more sense. So now if I show here, so now you get, if I run this, so this saved underscore imputer is not, so this saved underscore imputer is not the one which I have created. This is the one which I have loaded. I mean, you can say it is the same, but this is after saving. So it is after I have loaded it from my file system. Okay. So now, if I see, then you can see here that I have this object in my memory, and I can simply use and just transform my data or test data similarly as I did here. Let me just show you where we run. So we do not need to fit it now. We just need to run this line. So you need to use your this object. So you need to use your saved underscore imputer, and you can use it to transform your data set at a later point. So that is all about this particular video of one hot encoding. I hope that you would like it, and if you like it, then please do not forget to like and share this video and subscribe to my channel. Okay, and please stay connected, and thank you for watching this video. Thank you.